let's get one thing clear, because there's a lot of debate about this. We don't know what's best for the average human, because there is no average human. And that's why I say when you come to me and ask me for advice, I'll say, well, I know what works for me because I've been doing this for 15 years.
Very fair point.
All right, but I'm not dodging the question. I think that what I do is good for me, in part because it fits my lifestyle. But if I could just do whatever I wanted to, I would try to skip food for 3 days in a row, at least once a month. Our friend Peter Tia does that. Yeah. He goes for even a week, once a quarter. Now, I can't do that. I just find it really tough. But I think it's good because after 3 days, we know that a different type of autophagy kicks in to scrape the barrel and recycle proteins. And it's called chaperone-mediated autophagy. And
could you say that again?
Chaperone.
It was a mouthful.
So chaperone, okay, we got that. Mediated autophagy. Okay, and really what it means is there are proteins called chaperones that hold on to proteins and guide them where to go. And in this case, they push them into the garbage can to be recycled. And that takes a lot of hunger. I would say starvation, but a lot of...
3 days is no joke.
It's pretty close to starvation, right? And so your body will say, okay, now it's time. I've run out of all my fat, or run out of certainly my liver stores. I'm going to start chewing up the protein to make energy. And that's what's going on. And that's when you get rid of the really bad misfolded proteins in the body, which accumulate, cause diseases like Alzheimer's and other things. So that's all good. So I think that being able to do that would be wonderful. There are other ways to do it. There's that drug that's fairly toxic called rapamycin that simulates low amino acids. I haven't gone there yet because it's got some side effects, but it has been shown in humans to boost their immune system, so it does have some promise. The other good thing to know is that there's a clinical trial about to read out the results really soon, phase 3, which means that's the final result, and there might be a new drug that's safe and effective to boost this pathway, this protein sensing pathway. But in the absence of that drug, which is still many years away for the average person, the best thing to do is to go hungry for 3 or more days.
So for the average person,
yeah,
probably not going to happen. What's more likely is 14 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours. And in your opinion, is what I know we're all unique individuals. I'm 6'7", 200 plus pounds. I'm very different from you and our average listener. I know it's hard to generalize, but is there sort of a minimum, in your opinion, to get the benefits of fasting for longevity?
Yes.
Specifically autophagy, too.
Yeah, there is. And you can also look at places on Earth where people live a long time. Now, there are plenty of places where people don't eat breakfast, but they don't live a long time. Most people, not most, but a lot of people skip breakfast anyway before this whole intermittent fasting, periodic feeding thing came into the mainstream. So I think it's got to be more than just skipping breakfast. So that's why I try to skip lunch too. So I think if you can skip breakfast, do it. And if you don't, then try to skip another meal, dinner perhaps, have a very early dinner or not at all. My metabolism, by the way, is the type where my blood sugar goes up as I wake up, and therefore I'm full with sugar and I don't need any more. And that explains why I'm not hungry in the morning. So if you're not hungry in the morning, you're probably like me. You don't need breakfast, so don't have it. And we actually, just as an aside, we have a son, Benjamin, who has my metabolism. And my wife, as old parents, thought it was essential that he goes to school with a full stomach so he can concentrate. And he developed obesity as a result. So he gets a tiny breakfast now. But that's a consequence of our genetics. But yeah, anyway, the point being, more you can skip, the better. And I don't think breakfast is enough.
Got it. So I'd say 16, 18 at the minimum.
Yeah.
If you go longer, go longer.